So I've been asked for postures that I could give you to help with achy backs. So I'm going to give you a series of movement snacks today. So by that I mean a movement snack is a little movement that you can do as many times as you want throughout the day. So perhaps every time you get up from your chair to go put the kettle on, or if you're unable to come from the chair to do your little bit of movement, you can do it in the chair. So perhaps at the end of watching a TV programme, something like that. So have these little reminders. So if you associate movement snacks with something like putting the kettle on, like a TV programme ending, then that helps you to make it a habit. So the first one I'm going to give you is before you even get out of bed in the morning. So this one is a lovely one to do every single day before you get out of bed. So when you're lying in bed, I'd like you to be able to bend the knees. So bend the knees, have the feet grounded. And we're going to do what we call a pelvic tilt. So you're going to have arms resting down to the sides. You're going to make sure you've got a good spinal arrangement here. So make sure you're not on the back of the head or with the head extremely raised. So I want the chin to be slightly tucked, but I don't want you to have the head raised on lots of pillows. So we're going to, as we take a breath in, just let the belly rise, and as we take a breath out, let the belly lower. And then we're going to increase that movement. So imagine your hips are rolling pins. So as you take a breath in, imagine that you're rolling the rolling pin towards the feet, and that causes the little arch of the lower back. As you exhale, we roll the rolling pin back towards the head. That makes the lower back flat. So we inhale to arch, exhale to flatten. We've all got different shapes of the spine. So there's no particular shape that I'm asking you to make. But as you breathe in, you'll get a little gap in the lower back. As you breathe out, that gap will lessen between your back and the bed. So carry on with those pelvic tilts. So we get this little tip forwards of the pelvis and this tip backwards of the pelvis. This also helps a little bit with pelvic floor activation. So each time you tip the pelvis back, you will engage the pelvic floor. So you're going to do those pelvic tilts several times, and that does relieve lower back ache, as well as bringing your full attention into your back and how it's working. So then we're going to find a neutral place, that place in between your arch and your flatten. Then we're going to make sure the feet are apart, knees are still bent, and we're going to sway the knees from right to left. So we're swaying the knees right to left, and that's going to get a little twist through the spine. But I want you to keep your head and shoulders grounded, so we're not rolling onto the sides. It's the lower body that's moving as we sway those knees side to side. You'll get a little movement through the hips as well, which should help to relieve any tension in the hips as well as the lower back. And then you'll bring it back to centre and you'll come out of bed in your own time, no rushing. So our next movement snack can be done seated. So we are going to sit towards the edge of your chair. and we're going to take twists. So we can do the traditional twist that I put into our first video, or you can make it a little bit more dynamic. So we can take the right hand and reach over to the left, take the left hand and reach over to the right. So you're getting a little movement through shoulders as well. So with those reaches, I'd like you to then think about reaching down a little bit and reaching up a little bit. And I'd like you to look in the same direction as the hand that you're reaching diagonally across. And you're just going to do that for maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And then rest from there. So our last one is one that you can do from standing, or you can do it from seated. So I'm just kneeling here just so that you can see what I'm up to. So we're going to take the arms out to the sides and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, and that opens out through the chest. So that's going to help with tension in the mid and upper back. And then you're going to relax. Look, I'm just going to turn round a few times so you can see. So we're squeezing through the shoulder blades and then relax. And I'd like you to do it 3 times. So we're going to hold that squeeze for about 10 seconds. And then relax. When you hold that squeeze, I'm just going to do one more. When you hold that squeeze, I just want you to make sure that your breath is nice and natural. And I also want you to make sure your palms are facing forwards or even slightly up. I don't want the palms facing down or back. So palms are facing forwards or even slightly up, and that's going to really help to open out the shoulders, which will in turn help to release tension through the neck and the upper, maybe into the mid back. Okay, so that's 4 movement snacks for you to help with the lower backache.